Welcome to Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. The day finally came. I was trying to carry too much to my office for my morning coffee ritual, and I dropped and broke my Harvey cup. For you new listeners, I have a special fancy coffee cup that I call my Harvey cup. I bought it with money my father in law Harvey gave me while helping with his caregiving near the end of his life. I always called it my Harvey cup and displayed it in my china hutch until the pandemic. It was then that I decided to use it every morning while I drank my coffee and did my reading. I treasured that cup. But when it broke, I already knew how I would react. I had already conditioned myself. You see, my wise mother, when some treasure would break or get lost, would respond, "Well, it was only a thing." As I grew older, that wisdom finally sank in. Things are things. Sure, we may be very disappointed at the loss of something dear, but when it is a thing and not a person or relationship, we can still go on pretty much as before. Not only that, we also have the memory. That is the beauty of our minds. We can continue to appreciate it through the memories. Hmm. So, until we figure out how to glue it together, I shall drink from my Arvid cup. My dad's name was Arvid, and he gave me a cup many years ago that he bought at a Boy Scout camping retreat. He loved working with the Boy Scouts. So, let me take you to another way of looking at broken treasures. My Japanese sister Tsuru taught me that in Japan, they have a tradition called kintsugi, which means golden repair. When pottery would break, the Japanese would repair the cracks with gold, making it stronger and more beautiful than before. I love how this concept can be used as a metaphor to put a different lens on brokenness and how we can see it as making our lives stronger and more beautiful than before. My brother Pete has been charged with the task of repairing the Harvey Cup. He learned from the best, my dad. Dad always tried to repair anything that broke, from glasses to instruments to dishes to canoes, you name it, he would try to fix it. As a little girl, I will never forget the day when he looked at me and said, "Chrissy, I don't think this can be fixed." I thought it was impossible. My dad could fix anything. Well, Dad was also dedicated to helping fix broken people. He always provided a listening ear, words of comfort and encouragement to pick up the pieces and try putting them back together in better ways, using the past pain to build strength and confidence in the brokenness that consumed this wounded soul in front of him. I believe his unconditional balm of love and acceptance were symbolic of the gold the Japanese used to line the glued cracks of the broken pottery, making it stronger and more beautiful as well. Ryan Holiday, who writes in the Daily Stoic, says, "We will struggle and break. All we can do, as Hemingway wrote, is to try to be strong in the broken places." He goes on to say that we should focus on how we respond, what we do about it, to who we can become for having gone through it. My husband Donnie and I just spent 2 amazing days with Erin Gruwell, who was a central figure in the movie The Freedom Writers, and whose hands are filled with metaphoric paintbrushes that she uses to line the wounds of the marginalized students and people on her journey. Erin Gruwell, a first-year teacher in 1994, stood in front of a classroom of inner-city broken students in Los Angeles. When she was harshly challenged that first day, instead of running out of the classroom, she stood firm, picking up the invisible paintbrush, and began to make intentional strokes of gold where the wounds of trauma, rejection, hatred, and hopelessness were cracking her students into broken pieces. Her golden paint consisted of the stories of Anne Frank and her experiences in the Holocaust, a world that paralleled their lives, the students in the ghetto. Since that time, Erin and her freedom riders, the students glistening with the gold of healing, make it their mission through their foundation and her work on staff at Waldorf University to teach others how to use the golden paintbrush on other wounded students. Yes, the Harvey Cup broke. Pete can fix it. And Erin continues to wield her golden paintbrush because, as she quotes from a Holocaust survivor, we no longer have the luxury of standing idly by. This week, on your bathroom mirror, write, I will start painting the lines of wounds that I see or feel with gold. Join me next Monday for Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.